Welcome back. It's me, Kevin. Today I'm going to do something a little different. We're going to review the Marseille and the Rider Waite. And then what we're going to do is a question that I asked, and I'm going to show you how it reads both ways, right, with the two different systems here. The question I have, let me give you the backstory first. So a kitten shows up on my doorstep. Well, not really my doorstep. I went out for a walk one night about 11:30 midnight, and the cat followed me home, which to me was really odd. So he followed me home and he sat at my doorstep all night. And then night two, I went outside. The cat comes running up. I'm like, this is really weird. Went on a walk. It actually walked beside me like a dog all the way around the block, right? Came home. I put a box out front, fed it, put like a t-shirt over it so the wind, because it was really windy that night, so the wind wouldn't come in and, you know, hurt the cat, get it cold. Night three, there again, I'm like, that's it. We're going to take it to the vet. And if this cat is chipped, we're going to get hold of the owners so they can get their cat back. If it's not chipped, we're going to ask the vet what we can do to adopt this kitten. So it was underfed. It wasn't doing very good. And the cat at the vet said, no, the cat is not chipped. We're like, okay, cool. So we'll take it back in a couple of days, get it chipped, and then have it fixed because it wasn't fixed either. It's a female. So then yesterday, which would have been Saturday, I said, you know what? I'm just looking on Facebook because I just want to give it one more chance to see if somebody owns this cat. Because Facebook, it just dawned on me, hey, why don't I look at Facebook, right? Like on the pets missing section. And there was a cat there. And the comments that the person left, it matches the criteria of the cat. But my question was, is it their cat? Do they own this cat, right? Is it really theirs? Or are they a person just saying, hey, missing a cat? Because if you look on the group, I seen so many cats that looked almost alike. But his comments, what grabbed my attention, where he said, like, hey, by the way, this cat is this age and so forth. So I had to go to the cards. Is this cat that this person's asking for their cat? And I reached out to the guy. I told him. And so when I pulled the Marseille cards, the answer was a very apparent yes. And how I got there, now we're going to go to the cards. I'm going to show you. But that was a question. Was it their cat? And that's the cool thing about Marseille is that you can ask very direct questions. Rider Waite's more open-ended. It's more open to interpretation, where Marseille is very direct. And I'm going to show you here now. So we're going to go ahead to the Marseille, and I'm going to show you how I read this answer, okay? So with the question, I used the middle card as my theme in the Marseille, and he's upside down, the King of Pentacles. But the thing is, don't think about him like a tyrant, because that's not what the question's about. It's about, is this cat the person? And this is the person, all right? And as you can see, this king is upside down, which means he's kind of distressed, all right? And he's holding his coin, and the coin is his possession, and the possession is the cat. But the cat got out. And then he's been looking, see his eyes, looking at the bigger pentacle because he's confused, like, where is this cat? He's looking for it for quite a long time, it seems like. And the blue represents to me emotions. A lot of people don't read color in Marseille, but I do, just the way I read the cards. And so he's saying, like, where is my cat? Where did it go? How can I find to get it back? So he's sitting here in turmoil about finding this cat. And the two's around decisions, or two's also around union, bringing something back together once again. And that's how the energy is impacting the king. And then he can't be happy. That's why he's not looking towards this three, and three is about expansion, growth, communication, creativity, whatever. But I'm reading this as in fire energy, and his desires is just burning, and he can't even enjoy himself because the cat is missing. That's how I'm reading these three cards. So is it his cat? Yeah, it is. And when you look here too, he can't be happy because his mind is an X right here. This is decision, the two batons on top of each other with the one underneath is a cat. Is weighing heavy on him, heavy on his heart, heavy on his desires and whatnot, because the cat is very dear to this person. And so by reading it in that way, that's how I kind of knew, like, yep, the cat's definitely his, period. Now, let's go back here one more time. So when you look at the cards too, you have numbers. I read numerology all the time. A lot of people don't. I do, as part of my practice. And the first thing that I see is a 3 and a 5. Sorry, a 3 and a 2. And the 3 and a 2 is a 5, which means that he's in turmoil, which makes sense for a king upside down. But when the king becomes upright again in this position, then that 5 becomes very freeing, right? He's no longer under stress, no longer under frustration, okay? So when he gets his cat back, he'll be happy. And then when you add in the king, so the way I also read court cards. A lot of people don't do it like this, but I do, and I'll tell you why. So for me, a page is a 1, okay? A knight is a 2, a queen is a 3, and a king is a 4. And the reason why is because added together becomes a 10 as a complete cycle going back to the 1, the page, right? Or to the different suit or whatever. So to me, I number them 1 through 4. I don't go 11, 12, 13, 14. Doesn't make sense to me, but the 1 through 4 does because it adds to a 10, okay? And in this reading right here, as you can see, the king is a 4. So when you add it back together, what do you have? You have a 9, right? You have the 4, 3, and 2 is a 9, which means that once he has his cat back, he has attainment, right? He's ready to go to the next cycle, to his next thing in life, whatever that might be. I have no idea. But upside down, he can't get closure. He can't complete that cycle. He can't get past the 9 to the 10. And so by adding a little bit of numerology variation to it, it further emphasizes that the question, is this his cat or their family's cat? The answer is absolutely yes. Okay? Does that make sense? If you have any questions for me, drop them in the comments below. I'm more than happy to explain it further if you would like me to do that. Okay, now contrast, compare to Rider Waite. Now with the Rider Waite, I can't read it in a line. It's not how I read this tradition. I read these cards where it's a theme in the first position right here, and then I have the obstacle, the blocker, or the challenge in the middle, and then I have in the third position the outcome. And what's really interesting with this is how you know the universe never, ever, ever gives you something that's not true, because that card came up right there, and that's the King of Pentacles. Came up in the Rider Waite, which is so odd because the same card is in the Marseille. So it's the same vibe, but in the Rider Waite, it's the blocker for the king, so he can't move forward. And when you look at the tradition here, when we go to the card 1, the page, the theme is saying that they're distraught. Their mind, they're seeking, they can't find. The blue in the card, right, heavy blue, is very emotional. And the cloud, the gray, is clouding their mind. So the sword, while it's free, their mind isn't clear because they're in a state of kind of worry, in a sense. And when you look at it this way here, he's also looking this direction, right? Looking away from the king, trying to find something. He's seeking for something that he doesn't have, which is his cat. And then, of course, you have the birds, which are his thoughts. He just can't figure out, where did this cat go, And then also you have the King of Pentacles. So then what's blocking him from being happy or attaining and moving forward in life is that he lost something. So again, I'm not reading the Rider Waite as the book says, oh, tyrant, or out of control, et cetera, et cetera. It's more like on the question that we asked, the king is upside down where he can't focus on what he's mastered in life. Because remember, the King of Pentacles, his function is to control what he has, but he can't because his mind is somewhere else, the page. So it puts him back into a frenzy state, a state of almost like a little bit out of control, because he's in dire straits about finding the thing that he really cares about. Not money, but his pet. It's materialized, okay? Now, the outcome is the 9 of Swords. And the thing about the 9 of Swords that's interesting is upside down, we know what that means. It means upside right, we know what it means. It means you're in total anxiety, pain, anguish. You keep yourself up at night. And what's really interesting about this card too, look at the blanket. What do you see? It's every single zodiac sign, which means the whole universe is just weighing down on this person when it's upside right. But it's flipped, isn't it? And that means that because it's their cat, that anxiety vanishes. It starts to go away because they're finally reunited with the thing that they really care about, their cat. Okay? Now, if we go forward on this and read the numerology here as well, what do we see? We have a 1 and a 4 and a 9. Okay? So a 1 and a 9 is a 10, and then a 10 plus a 4 is a 14. And what did we have before? When we looked at the card here, we had the 3 and the 2. Remember, 3 and the 2? That equaled a 5. 3 and a 2 is a 5. And now we're seeing that the Rider Waite also equals a 5. A 5. And what does that mean? It means that now that their cat is back, they went from this state of panic, this state of frustration, this state of chaos, to a state of peace. Their mind has been freed, has been cleared from losing their cat. Okay? And so that's how I read these two traditions. And if you enjoy this type of a thing and you like me to do more of it, let me know, because I think it's kind of fun actually, where I'm going to ask questions. And even if they're for myself, I'm going to share them with you. But I'm going to show you how to read them between the Marseille and the Rider Waite. Because the Marseille, you don't read based off the meanings. This isn't really around, expansion and growth, right? It's really around what the question is. And because it's behind the king, he can't focus on this shit. He can't really embrace the growth with his pet. He can't really embrace the happiness with his pet, right? He can't expand further because his pet is gone, and therefore he's very distraught. The king's distraught. And his eyes are where? Looking for it. He's searching for that cat. And look how big the pentacles are. They're huge compared to the king. They're massive because it's on his mind. That's why his eyes are pointing in that direction. And he can't even look at happiness because it's not there. He can't look at growing and getting closer with his pet because it's gone. It's totally gone. So that's how you read it. Anyway, if you want to keep up to date with what I'm doing and see what I have on my website, go to wordswithatwist.com, sign up for my newsletter. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. But another thing that I do too is I do a lot of written work where I do not share on YouTube because it's written, right? But I dive into numerology a little heavier. I also dive into Hebrew letters. Sometimes I'll do a reading and I'll say, oh, that's a 2, that's the bed. And what that means is the house, the containment, and so forth. And I dive into that to kind of show you how everything in the universe aligns and nothing is by chance. Everything is done for a reason, and we're given the answers through the cards, through the numbers, through the letters, gematria, whatever, for a reason. Nothing's by chance in this world. And the cards verify it every single time. I'm a firm believer in that. Anyway, that's all I got. And if you did enjoy this, again, wordswithatwist.com. And if you want to become a member, sign up for that too. There's a free and paid version. And all that means is if you don't want to pay right now, that's fine. It just means a lot of the content is not public facing. But if you're a member, you get to see it. And the insider gets a little more detail, a little more depth. All right? Anyway, until next time, I want to see you in my next reading. All right. Bye, everybody.